Hi, Nancy. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Thank you so much for being willing to come on and talk a little bit about your experiences.
Okay.
What I'd really like to do is talk about the 1954 experience that you had. Do you think you could just start off by describing what happened?
Yes. We were in Maine, taking my brother up to the University of Maine, and we had stopped over at Moosehead Lake, which is pretty far up in Maine. It's a pretty rural area, very rural Maine. And actually, it was a normal day up until we went to bed, and I was awakened sometime in the early morning hours. Strangely enough, I was awakened by a presence that was in the room with me, and I felt that my bed was surrounded by something. And I actually found myself very frightened and found it impossible to speak out loud. I couldn't call to my mother or anyone else in the house, or the cabin, I should say. And I couldn't move. And I felt like I was being observed by a number of creatures, if you want to call it that, or people or whatever. It was I've never been that frightened in my life. I've never been unable to move or communicate with somebody. I could barely move my hands or my feet. I was just frozen. And this went on for a long time. It was daybreak before I can remember suddenly finding myself released and able to move.
And so did you perceive yourself ever leaving the room, or do you think you stayed in the bed?
No, I think I was being observed. I don't think I ever physically left the room.
Okay.
I think I was being observed for some unknown reason, and it was a very, very frightening feeling. My girlfriend had ridden up to Maine with us also, and she had a similar experience the same night that I did, so I was not the only one.
Oh, really?
In the cabin that experienced that. That was not just me.
That's interesting.
Yes.